So today's lesson is on the exterior angle of a triangle. Before we begin exploring the exterior angles of a triangle, we're going to put the pieces together that we already know to see why that exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two opposite interior angles. So first we're going to explore or review just the triangle piece. So this is just a triangle. It's not drawn to scale with angles of 5x plus 8, 9x plus 2, and 15x minus 4. And as we remember, the sum of the triangle theorem tells us that these three angles will add up to 180 degrees. So when you set up the equation, 5x plus 8 plus 9x plus 2 plus 15x minus 4 is going to equal 180. When you go through and you combine like terms, because your next step is to drop these parentheses that show you the value of each angle, you're going to drop those parentheses and you're going to combine 5x plus 9x plus 15x, and you're going to get 29x, and you're going to combine positive 8 plus 2 minus 4, and you're going to get positive 6, and then you're going to go about solving the equation. When you end up solving the equation, you get a value of 6, which is a beautiful thing, but tells us nothing about the measurement of these three angles other than the 6 is involved as x in each of these. So you're going to make sure that you go ahead and substitute 6 in for all of these angles, and remember I said that they're not drawn to scale. So if it doesn't look like a 38 degree angle, it's very possible that it's not a 38 degree angle, and if this one doesn't look like a 56 degree angle, it's very possible that it's not. And again, this is 90 minus 4, which is 86 degrees. And in the end, I'm always going to make sure that I do a check. So I'm going to do 38 plus 56 plus 86. And I'm going to make sure that that adds up to 180 degrees. And that's carry my 2, and it equals 180 degrees. So remember that when you set up equations to find the angles of the measures of the interior, the inside of the triangle, the angle measures of the inside of the triangle, they add up to 180 degrees. If we go ahead and we look at, Smartboard doesn't work. If we go ahead and we look at the next slide, which is supplementary angles, again, not a triangle, but the beauty of this is we know that supplementary angles, which are two angles that add up to 180 degrees, and we know that this line, because it's a straight line, is 180 degrees, so another line cut this one and formed two angles. We also know, like a triangle, that these two angles are going to go ahead and add up to 180 degrees. I strategically picked these angles so that when you go ahead and you solve, you end up with the same two-step equation as you did on your interior angle of a triangle. So when you solve, you end up getting 6 as well. And again, if you plug in, this little one is going to be the same 86 degrees as the other one was, and 4 to 94 degrees. So again, these aren't drawn to scale. The reason that I picked the interior angles of a triangle and then I added to it the supplementary angles is because if I were to take the last slide, which was just the triangle, this triangle, notice the 5x plus 8 and the 9x plus 2 is going to equal our 14x plus 10. If you take these two angles, if you take this triangle and you marry it to this line, you end up getting the exterior angle of a triangle. So if we think about the words, interior inside, exterior outside. So these three angles will be interior angles. This one angle that's drawn right now because there's a line extended from the triangle is an exterior angle. The exterior angle has what we call a corresponding interior angle, and vice versa. So these two angles this is a corresponding interior, this is the exterior. these two angles are supplementary. That means they add up to 180 degrees. Great. We know that these three are the interior angles of a triangle, and they also add up to 180 degrees. Which means that the two interior angles that do not touch the exterior angle, the sum of these two angles will equal this exterior angle. You can figure that out without even knowing the exterior of an angle theorem. And if these two angles add up to 120 degrees, and you know that these three angles, the interior ones, add up to 180, you can go ahead and say, hey, wait, okay, that means I know that this interior angle is 60 degrees. If these two angles are supplementary, then you know that 60 degrees plus x equals 180, because these two guys are supplementary. Well, then that means that you just backed into the fact that the two interior angles that don't touch the exterior angle, the sum of these two are going to equal this exterior angle. And the reasoning behind that is because the three interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees, and supplementary angles, so if we were to ignore this part of the triangle, these two angles are more clearly, I guess, supplementary. Supplementary angles add up to 180. Therefore, the sum of these two angles is always going to equal the exterior angle that neither one of these angles touch.